Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Life of Logan. And if you're new around here or haven't done so already, I would greatly appreciate it if you would please make sure that you like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. If you would like to reach me on a personal level, you can do so by emailing lifeofloganpod@gmail.com. That is lifeofloganpod@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram, lifeofloganpod there as well. And check me out on TikTok, the Dashing Mr. Logan. And let's see, where else am I at? Oh yeah, how could I forget? Check out my YouTube channel, Life of Logan TV as well. Appreciate everyone who has done that already. So I have been, because I've had a little downtime with getting myself back together, coming back to who I was. I have had a little downtime, and I've done something that I really don't do very often because there's always something else to do. And yeah, I just sometimes feel that my time is better spent, but I've got a chance to watch TV. I've had a chance to binge watch shows and all of that good stuff. And what I already knew, but it just drove the point home. And I want to just apply this to life, or just help you apply this to life. We are so caught up on first impressions, or the most impactful version of a person that we meet. And when I say the most impactful, I mean that whatever season that we interacted, whichever one impacted us the most, we align that person with that version of themselves. Just like with a television show. The characters that we meet at the beginning of the story are often very different than the ones that we say goodbye to at the end. That's because things change. Life happens to us. And when those things in life happen to us, they make us become someone that we're not. I was talking to a colleague of mine a while back, and he was talking about his mother. And God help me, y'all, this man said that he blurted out, my mama was for the streets. I said, sir, what? And he repeated again, my mother was for the streets. And just said that without any context, but then he went into context and he was talking about how the relationship with his father was so torrid, and they had been together for years and been married, and then his father did this and that to his mother, and then once the relationship was over, his mother was a different person at that point. Like, she eventually, he said, got back to where she was before, but she was a different person. And that makes sense. With relationships, we become different people. That's why I'm a big proponent of taking time in between relationships, so you can realize who you are before because someone else did something to you and they corrupted you and made you, for lack of a better term, damaged goods. Now you're going to go damage somebody else and they're going to be damaged goods, and the cycle continues and you bleed all over people. Never mind the fact of what life does to you, the stresses of life, the stresses of your job, family, because family, friends, everybody always has something going on, and you're intaking that. Sometimes you don't know what to do with it. You just intaking it and you're internalizing it, and it's doing something to you. It's making you a different person. You might look the same on the outside, but you are in fact very different internally. But a lot of people don't acknowledge that. Society usually, and not even just society, but the people who you love and care about sometimes, they only see you as the first impression, or they see you at your greatest or your lowest moment. That's all they see. And that is so ignorant to me. It's ignorant, it's asinine, it's, whatever else you could think of. But I say that because if you haven't talked to me in weeks, in months, definitely in years, then who are you to say who I really am? Who are you to say who I am as a person when you don't know me? Because in our time apart, life has done things to me. Life didn't just stop happening to me at the moment that you and I departed each other and, just said, hey, see you later. And then when we came back or whatever, I just was, again, with the binge watching reference, I was just able I just started hitting the play button when you came around. No. After we turned around and we walked away from each other, my story was still going, just like yours. There are things that happened to me that you didn't see. You think that you saw everything, but you weren't really watching my show. You were pulling out your phone, you were texting, you were scrolling through social media. You had probably gotten up, taken a bathroom break. You probably went to sleep a couple of times and my story was still playing right in front of you. And the screen was popping up. Are you watching? Are you still there? And you're just like, yeah, I'm still here or whatever. And just keep the story going. And now you're seeing me. You went to sleep on me during season 1 or 2. And now we're on season 10 and beyond. And you're just waking back up and you'll be like, oh, that's not him. That's not the way that he acts. I know the real him. No, you don't. It stands to the fact that you never really knew me to begin with. And I really wish that we would normalize that in this world that, yeah, you never really knew me to begin with. You never knew me to begin with, but you really don't know me because you didn't go back and watch all of everything. So you don't know my story. You don't know what's happened to me. But yet you tell me that you know me. You have no idea who I am. And we need to sometimes be comfortable with that. Be comfortable with the fact that people have no idea who we are and let them just run with whatever fallacies and fables and tales that they've came up with their head about us or whatever. And even if they think that we're faking and we're fronting and we fraudulent and all that stuff or whatever, that's fine. That's fine because I know who I am. I know what has transpired in my life and I know what's happened to me. And I am a different person from the seasons, from season to season. You may see me morph into the hero. Sometimes I may be the anti-hero. Sometimes I may be the villain. Sometimes I may be something where you don't know who I am from episode to episode. And sometimes even during the episode, I change multiple times. It's the ebbs and flows of life. It's the ebbs and flows of life and things that happen to us affect us. Good, bad, but they're happening to us. I encourage you just going forward to be kind with people and just understand that the person that you met all those years ago is not the same person that's standing in front of you. And we look at change as bad, but people definitely change for the better. But you have to give them the grace that life has done things to them. So instead of calling them fake or telling and slandering their name and telling people that, hey, they're not really built like that. They don't do this and that, or they don't really live a life like this. I know the real them. You never really knew